Hello, this is Caleb Jarek, and this is for KNR 175. I am going to respond to activity number 6. This is actually my second recording. I had some difficulty posting on YouTube, so I'm going to try again here. I apologize for the late response, but I just want to reiterate what I spoke about the first time regarding the issue of leisure being a right or a privilege. And this is a really interesting topic. The first thing I'm going to do is kind of discuss defending the idea that it is a privilege. And so what this basically means is that one's ability to enjoy leisure activities is not something that is guaranteed. It is something that you do in order to work hard at something, in order to gain free time, or in order to push yourself to the next standard in order to enjoy some sort of leisure activity. And so the reason why I would back this comment about leisure being a privilege is because, especially being in a capitalist society such as the United States, you have to work hard for absolutely everything that you do. So if you want to achieve or if you want to succeed, you have to put in the work, you have to put in the time. And so in this case, defending the ability for leisure activities as a privilege, I would say that yes, if you want to enjoy free time and enjoy the activities and your passions and the things outside of your career and work, you need to really put in the time and effort in order to guarantee that that is possible. If you are lazy or if you don't work hard enough, then leisure is not something that's guaranteed. And as unfortunate as that is, that can be seen in a lot of different people's lives, such as the idea that people who are elderly and still working, those people, maybe some of those people did not put in the time or the resources in order to set up savings accounts for themselves or retirement funds for themselves when they were younger. And unfortunately, now they are paying the price because they are still forced into some sort of job in their 60s and potentially 70s and beyond. And unfortunately, they just don't have the time to enjoy the leisure activities they want to anymore because they are too busy and too focused on just providing for the basic needs that they have themselves and potentially for a family as well. This is the primary example that I had in defending the idea of leisure as privilege. It's a sad but a true statement in some areas that those who work harder and those who are able to find their passion and succeed in an area of life, regardless of what that may be, are going to hopefully find more time in order to enjoy the leisure activities that they want to. And this isn't always the case. For some people, their leisure activities could just be handed to them if they were born into a really wealthy family. They don't need to work very hard. They can still have all the fun and experience as much leisure and as many leisure activities as they want to, potentially, because they don't have to work very hard to succeed in life because it's already been handed down to them. This isn't a huge majority of the population by any means. In fact, I would say it's probably the strong minority. However, this is an example of something that's been handed down to them, and it was a counterexample that I would have for leisure as privilege. I want to briefly talk about being a right. Leisure is a right, and defending this, we mentioned that leisure as a right, it's one of our inalienable privileges as being an American, first of all, but just being a human on this planet. It is a right that we should have the opportunity to enjoy our leisure experiences. And what I would say to defend this argument is that it doesn't matter what situation you are in, financially or occupationally, if that's even a word, but you should have the capability to enjoy leisure outside of the busyness of your schedule. And there shouldn't be anyone or any entity that has any say in whether or not you get to experience a leisure activity. And this is the strongest argument I have for defending this side, is just that basic human rights, they guarantee life, liberty, freedom. If someone were to tell you that you were not able to enjoy a leisure experience, or you were forced to work and never have any time off, or never able to spend time doing anything else besides pursuing your career or pursuing money, then they would just be simply wrong, because as a human, we have the opportunities to work hard, we also have the opportunities to relax and be able to spend time how we please. And just to kind of conclude and give you my resolution, I kind of am a little bit of a mix in between both of these. More strongly, I definitely lean towards leisure being a right. I definitely think that everybody in any circumstance should have access to leisure in whatever way that means. If you cannot have access to leisure, your life is probably going to be miserable because you simply are not given any opportunity to have any fun or experience things outside of the busyness of our schedules. So naturally, I would believe that leisure is a guaranteed right, and I would stand by that. However, I do believe that in the sense of leisure being something that's privileged, I would say that if you want to experience more leisure or give yourself the opportunity to enjoy more things, have more time to spend on passions outside of your career or work schedule or school, then you do have to work hard for those things and you have to put in the time and the effort in order to clear up a little bit of your schedule in order to have some time to yourself. And not necessarily just yourself, but in order to spend leisure time with yourself or others. And I think that I try to do a really good job of experiencing leisure in a privileged sense where, I believe that I work really hard. And because I'm able to manage some of my time, I think that I give myself an opportunity to enjoy some things that I wouldn't be able to if I just sat back and said, well, leisure is my right. And I'm not going to focus on anything academic or work related because I think that I should be given all the free time and leisure in the world, and I would say that that's incorrect. However, not everybody would put in the same amount of effort or the time in order to enjoy a leisure experience, and that is completely their choice. And that kind of circles back around saying that leisure is a right. How much time you get outside is a different story. That is completely up to how you handle your time and how you manage your stress in your work and your school. But at the end of the day, I would completely agree that leisure is a right. It just depends on how much effort you're willing to put into it, and that's where the privilege side comes into it as well. So thanks for listening to what I have to say. If you have any disagreements or extra comments on my thoughts, I would be really interested to hear what you say. Again, this is all opinionated. This has bias included, so this isn't anything that is completely correct or incorrect. This is just kind of what I got after watching some of the lecture videos and some of the extra information that was posted in there. So thank you.